What's up, mini fans? Welcome back to the mini vlog, mini garage. And today we're going to talk about the 3D printed shelf extender that I had made for the GP in the wireless charging armrest. A lot of people have asked, how do I print that? What materials do I use? You know, can I try some other materials out and things like that? So over the past couple of weeks, maybe a few months now, I have tried several different materials. This is the one that I used before. Then I tried a lighter, and that feels more like a nylon-y material. I had one printed up in steel. This thing, I don't know if you can hear that. This thing is heavy. And then I had one printed up in aluminum. And this one looks a lot like the 3D printed paddle shifters and 12 o'clock indicator on the steering wheel in the GP. And I think this is the one that we're gonna try and make work really well. I really like this steel one though. It came out really nice, really high quality resolution, and feels great in the hand. So shapeways.com is a great service where you can send them or upload your STL files and then have them printed and sent to you in a choice of several different materials. The price ranges drastically between the types of materials. I can tell you that the aluminum one I think was the most expensive, followed by the steel closely after that. The plastic ones, depending on what kind of plastic, are generally cheaper. We have the steel one, really cool, really nice and heavy, high quality print. We have the aluminum one, really lightweight, and again, it matches that aesthetic of the car, so that one's gonna be awesome. We have the plastic one that we printed before, which is in PA12 glass beads finish. You can hear that's plastic there. And yeah, this color, I like it's dark. It kind of hides any print lines and stuff like that, but this is a really nice one. If you're looking for a good economical option, I would go the PA12 glass beads finish. And then we have PA11 SLS. I think this was the cheapest of them all. It's light, it's a little more on the flexible side. Again, feels more like a nylon material. Maybe this material will suit you better, but I like, again, the PA12 as probably the most economical decision. The aluminum was probably my favorite for this car, but again, it's very expensive. And the steel is just really cool to print something, 3D print something in steel. So yeah, again, Shapeways is the service I'm using. There are other 3D printing services out there, so you can probably use any one. You just have to make sure that your print is going to fit within their specifications. Maybe I'll get the scales out and measure these so we can see what the difference is. PA11 comes in at 1/4 ounce. PA12 comes in at about 1/2 ounce. Let's go to the aluminum one. Comes in at 3/4 ounce. And the steel one, 2 ounces. So there you go, now you know the weights of those, just in case you're curious. But again, for the aesthetic, to match the aesthetics of the rest of the car, I think we're gonna try and make this aluminum one work. And in order to do that, we've gotta do a couple of steps to really get it to fit in there. I should mention that I also had some of my engineering friends that are better at the CAD softwares than I am. They helped me, I don't know if this will show up. They helped me change the design so it says GP instead of just Mini. So yeah, that's really cool. Learned a lot during this process. Now we need to make some modifications to this to make it fit. And the reason for that is the screw that holds the stock charging shelf in there is a kind of just self-tapping, it's not a machine screw, it's kind of a self-tapper, and it just taps into the plastic that comes with the car. That's not gonna work for this metal. And what we need to do is get a really small drill bit and drill out that middle hole to be a little bit bigger, and then tap that, because we need to use some machine screws in order to fit this to there. And these are some really small screws. Let's see if I can get that to show up in focus. That is an M2, what is this one? This is an M2 by 6, I believe, that we're using. So it's a really, really small screw. We're having to use really small taps to get those machine threads in there. And we've broken a few drill bits off already. These are really small drill bits as well. While we were practicing, broke a couple of them. I don't know if that will even show up. Yeah, so that's the size drill bits that we're using. So yeah, we're having to drill out this really small hole so that we can then tap out some threads into there and use the machine screws to secure that to the base of the charging dock. So charging deck. I don't remember the terminology that it's used, but yeah. I'm gonna show you some of the steps that I'm going through in order to get this going. So again, first we're gonna drill out that hole a little bit larger. Then we're gonna tap some threads into there. We'll test fit our tiny M2 by 6 screws. And then we'll go ahead and try and put it in the car. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Okay, here is the screws that are now in those tapped holes. Just making sure that they fit in there and they're nice and straight and not too crooked. And there's our tiny drill bit, our tiny tap for the M2 screws, and this is our piece with the screws in it. So now we can take this to the car and see if it will fit. And just so I can give a little sense of scale, there's a dime. There's our tap. There's our screw size. So as you can see, we're dealing with some really small stuff here. The drill bits, I've broken 2 of them already because you gotta be perfectly straight. Cutting fluid, definitely useful in this application so we don't break any more bits. But let's go ahead and hop into the car. We'll take out the old part, try this new one in there and see how it works. Okay, so here we are back in the center console, and we're gonna use the 2 debit card, credit card, gift card method to pop out this charger, pop it open, get access to those screws on the bottom to remove this charging shelf, the 3D one that we put in there before. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out, so you can see how to do this install. I'm not gonna do a full install in this video. I'm not gonna show you all those steps. I'm just showing you how to change out the plastic for the aluminum one, and let's see how it looks. So yeah, here we go. Here's the old one. Here are those tiny self-tapping screws that tap into the plastic really nicely, but not so much into the metal, so that's what they look like. Make sure you don't lose those, just in case you need them in the future. Here is our charging deck in the shelf that we're gonna put on, so let me go grab that. Okay, new aluminum charging shelf. It's gonna slot in right there. That's what it's gonna look like. Our tiny M2 by 6 machine screws. We're gonna put them on underneath. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you liked it. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, all the normal stuff. Hopefully this is helpful for you if you're looking to 3D print your own wireless charging shelf or any other 3D parts. Again, the materials we used, PA11, I probably wouldn't recommend. PA12 with glass beads finish, that's probably my favorite, most economical. Here was the old one that we had in there that said Mini. We made a new one that says GP. The aluminum one fits the GP the best because it's got a lot of other 3D printed aluminum parts from Mini themselves. Steel, I don't think I'd use it. It probably wouldn't work too well, but really cool that you can print steel. Those are the materials that I use. Those are the ones I'd recommend. PA12, definitely aluminum if it fits your aesthetic. Those two are probably the best. The metal ones, again, are gonna require some slight modifications. You are gonna need to drill out larger holes because most 3D printers can't print holes that small or threads that small even. So you'll have to drill those out, tap your own threads with these tiny little taps that then you'll use your M2 machine screws to secure that to the wireless charging deck in there. If you just go with the PA 12 or 11 or other plastics, the default screws that come in the car, where did I put it? Right here. This tiny little screw is this tiny little screw is got a self-tapping thread as opposed to a machine thread. So it's more like a wood screw. So you don't need to modify the plastic ones at all. You just let the screw sink itself into there and secure it that way. If you have more questions or need more information about these materials and how to 3D print them, get in touch with me. I'll leave a way to get in touch with me in the description so you can send me a message and I'll try and help you out with those. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. When you see other minis out there, don't forget to wave. I'll catch you in the next one.